Danielle Marshall, Muggsy Bogues, Grant Hill, Turbo the Bear. Here's the tip, and this game is underway. Right through, finds Marshall. Marshall, fires, Turbo, to Hill, dunks it for two, dishes to Bogues. Houston, we have liftoff. With a beautiful spin move. Hill! And we gotta see that one again. To Bogues. Bogues fires. That's simply outrageous. Hill! Bogues. Turbo. In his case, the playground is heaven. Hands off to Marshall. Misfires. Way up in the air. Hands off to Turbo. To Hill. Going up for the dunk. Turbo the Bear. Hands off to Bogues. Hands off to Bogues. I want to see the replay on that one. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo lets it fly from downtown. Bogues misses. Back up again. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. Hill with 30 seconds to go. And we got to see that one again. Finds Bogues. And he grabs the ball. Zoom, baby! This guy is smoking now. Bogues launches his body. Turbo. No! Hands off to Turbo. Dishes to Hill. Bogues. He launches one. Goes up high. Let's see that one again. Finds Bogues. Quick release. I want to see the replay on that one. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. He shook him out of his drawers. He may be headed for the bench. Bogues. 4-3. Finds Turbo. With a beautiful spin move. Bogues. Dishes to Marshall. Rolls out. Turbo. Turbo. Hands off to Bogues. Bogues. Bogues! Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. He is going airborne. And we got to see that one again. To Marshall. Marshall. Drains it. Hands off to Turbo. He shook him out of his drawers. There is 1 minute left. That was a cheap shot. Way above the rim. Finds Turbo. Turbo. Bogues. And scores! Whoop! Hands off to Bogues. Bogues. Marshall! Dishes to Turbo. Turbo. Launches. And we got to see that one again. Marshall. Marshall. Shoots. Turbo. Hands off to Marshall. Marshall. It is all tied up. Turbo. Turbo! Hands off to Marshall. Back up again. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. To Hill. Bogues. Bogues. Turbo. Finds Marshall. The ball is loose. Boom shakalaka. Hands off to Turbo. Wide open for the three. Marshall. He lays it up. This guy is smoking now. Finds Turbo. Turbo. Again, the shot won't go. Turbo. Hill. Golden State up by 3. Bogues. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. From short range. That was one for the highlight reel. Golden State up by 3. Bogues. Turbo. Fires it. Won't go. He loses it. Marshall. Fires it from long range. Turbo. Shoots. Swishes it home. Marshall. Whoop. Dishes to Turbo. Turbo! And here he comes. Marshall fires. The outside shot, and he catches a break. Bogues. 4-3. Turbo. Hands off to Hill. Hands off to Bogues. Bogues. No good. Rims off. Way above the rim. No! Marshall. Dishes to Bogues. Goaltending. Hands off to Turbo. Turbo. Going high. Turbo the Bear. Dishes to Bogues. Quick release. Dishes to Turbo. Going high. Hands off to Marshall. That is a sweet shot. Hands off to Turbo. He shook him out of his drawers. Turbo. Hands off to Bogues. Lays it up. Turbo. With a beautiful spin move. Dishes to Turbo. He is really heating up. Anything can happen. The clock is ticking. Marshall! They need to get something going here. Anything can happen. Takes off. Danielle Marshall. They're still right in the thick of it. Again, the shot won't go. No good. The Detroit Pistons have won the game.